All right, guys, so let's go ahead and really look at this. We're going to focus on the past here just for a second. So in the past, you had the Hierophant. The Hierophant for me is commitment. This is a card for, someone, honestly, someone's, committing to a relationship. Honestly, I feel like with this card here, there's also this is not just you committing to them, it's them committing to you. It's a really lovely thing. But since we're reading about you, this is saying that you have settled down and you have, you know what you wanted. You've really kind of, pretty much settled in. That makes sense. This is definitely committing. Okay. And I don't know if there's an age difference between you and this individual. There could be an age difference, or there's something that's different about them that's potentially different. That doesn't really go by your usual type. If that makes sense. Like they may have, they may not be the people that you typically go for when you go out and date, or anything like that. This could also be like this could also be that there is individuals. There's an individual here that that is potentially going to school. I feel like just because we have this page here, which is studying, could be in art, but. The thing here is that there is some sort of commitment here in the past. There was somebody that committed to somebody in the past. Decided to say, hey, you know what? Let's just make it work. Okay, I'm married to this. You know what I mean? I'm going to put I'm going to settle with this. I'm going to, do what I can to, make this relationship work. The Hierophant. And I feel like in the internal energy, you have the Nine of Cups here. That's really talking about knowing what you want, right? The Nine of Cups is the wish card, the manifestation card. You can't make a wish if you don't know what you want. And this is what it was all about, right? I think you guys were committed to going after your dream. You're committed to go ahead and making this relationship work, or for those of you that are single, you're committed to carrying out your dream. Okay, and externally, you guys had the Eight of Cups, so perhaps you guys knew what you wanted, and what was in front of you wasn't what you wanted at all. Maybe this was your opportunity to say, you know what, okay, I know what I want, appreciate you, but I'm out. Okay, I like this because I do get the sense that there was this, you felt content. You weren't upset. You weren't mad. You weren't angry. You were committed to getting your dream, to being happy, to feeling emotionally fulfilled. Okay, and I feel like with this understanding of what your heart needed, you went off and gone on the path to wherever you needed to go. Right, you followed your intuitions and let your heart lead you to where you wanted to be, to where you believe where you want to be, pretty much to go along that path in which you can truly feel fulfilled in what you're trying to gain. All right. This could be with an individual, right? This could be that there's something going on with your partner, right? You knew what you wanted in your relationship, so you decided to just kind of like leave it be, right? They didn't offer anything to you that was satisfying, so you went off and found a way on your own. Now, where you're leading to is the Hangman. This is very interesting because the Hangman can talk about. It's talking about being stuck in limbo. It talks about not really being able to make a move. It's very stagnant energy. And the purpose of this is for you to see something from a different perspective. So right now, in this time and age, there's nothing necessarily happening because there is something that needs to be seen a little differently. There's some sort of perspective that needs to change right now. This could be for you, or the partner, but it's affecting you as well. It's affecting the relationship in a major way. Okay, because in the present here we have the Hangman. Internally, you have the Ten of Wands. So this is talking about, ending a cycle, right? This is a burdenous ending, though, because you have a lot to carry. There's a lot of things that you're holding on, hurting your back pretty much, which is just by the way, the wands are being held here. You have a lot of burdens that you're going through, but it's like that weird phase before a cycle ends and something begins. You're coming off as very independent, very single, very eligible for those of you that are single and not in a relationship. This is for some of you guys that are dealing with an individual that's like, that's good, that can provide you potentially with, lavish goods, but they're not around. Because the Nine of Pentacles is coming up. This is somebody that's, you know, trapped in a gilded cage. This is someone that's typically single. But this could be someone that's in a relationship that, you know, a person that can give them whatever they want, but they're not physically there. They're not there to, you know, building an emotional relationship. And that could be burdenous, especially if you're always alone, if you're always kind of feeling like you're by yourself. And the Hanged Man, he's alone too. He's upside down. He's looking out at the world like, okay, what do I need to see? What perspective do I need to take a look at? Okay, what do I need to gain from this position here? Because I mean, the blood's rushing through my head. This is really getting difficult. So I feel like that's the burden, right? That, you know, this situation being so lonely, being so isolated. Because the Nine of Pentacles, she's happy. Yeah, she's content. She knows that she's very independent. She knows that she's capable of doing what she wants. She's very, you know, good. She's very happy here. But at the same time, it can get very boring, especially when there's nothing going on. And especially if you're the one that's holding down the whole situation. Holding down or doing a lot of work to maintain the relationship, especially if this is kind of what you're doing by yourself. That could be a little bit frustrating. And so I feel like with the Hanged Man here, it's something about changing perspectives, potentially about where you are, what is your comfort zone, what steps do you may need to take now since you've made it to a nice place, but that's not necessarily the end yet, right? It's not the end game. You have the Ten of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. You have a Ten of Pentacles to reach. Okay, and I'm not really quite sure what this burden is, though. I feel like for some of you guys, it could just be that you guys are by yourself in this relationship. For those of you that are in a relationship, you're not supposed to feel by yourself. You're not supposed to feel alone. But at the same time, it's still like you're ending a burden cycle, but you have more experience in a situation. You have more experience in how you manifest, right? Because you knew what you manifested. You knew what you wanted to manifest in the past, and you went off and gone and got it. But you're dealing with a lot of burdens, and now you're now you're comfortable, but you're not exactly, you know, it's not exactly satisfaction yet, because it's not at the end. You got a lot of ways to go. So the Hanged Man is here. There's something about this Hanged Man that's talking about you guys, or talking about whoever this is that could be feeling very isolated at this moment, burdensome, and, you know, really wanting to, you know, to do something, because this is also a very boring energy. With these two together, I get this boring sense, right? It's like, okay, sure, this is very secure, very, you know, nice, but there's nothing happening in this. There's nothing happening with the Nine of Pentacles. The Hanged Man, he's not doing anything but chilling out and just kind of waiting for this to see what he needs to see. So I have a feeling that there is this situation that is coming up that's like requiring you guys to see something from a different situation, because you guys are bored. You guys are not really excited about what the relationship has to offer. You're ending a cycle here. It's a very burdenous. Okay, but I do get this feeling that this something that's coming back from the past, like the Six of Cups. This could be an ex, guys. This could be somebody that you've known from a past life, potentially. Or this could just be that there's a nostalgic type energy that comes up, right? You could be feeling like you could be reminiscing, right? Or think about the good old days with the person that you've got, for those of you that are in a relationship. Okay? I feel like for those of you that are single, though, this could be that, you know, this waiting for a new perspective has a lot to do with how you view the past, or maybe it's, you know, reminding you of the past where things were a lot more light, a lot more innocent, when there was puppy love. Because internally, right, because you have the Page of Cups, which is puppy love. It's that small little bit of romance, the sweetness of something loving and just adorable, right? So, and I feel like internally, yeah, like you potentially have love here for this person, or you have love here for like how the past used to be when it came to love. But then externally you have the Tower. So it's like you didn't see this ex coming back, but you know, you have a lot of love for them. You have love for them that you want to offer. You're offering you're honestly ready to offer a cup to this person that's in the past. Let's go ahead and take a little closer look. Why does Pisces have the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles? for the Hangman in the present. Six of Swords. A transition. The transition, guys. Okay, this makes sense, right? This makes sense. If you're going to one phase of a situation to the next, you're going through a transitional phase, and this transitional phase can be, it's mostly internal. It's not physical, it's more internal, because the Hangman is coming up. So it's more of like an internal transition. Going from like having a lot on your plate and feeling burdened. At the same time, you're like, you're content, you're happy, you're in a stable space, but at the same time you're really bored. You're really bored. But there's this is a situation that's changing your perspective on your current situation. It's about a transition. It's changing your perspective. It's changing your perspective for the Six of Cups. Why is the Six of Cups in their future? Why is the Six of Cups in their future? Why is the Six of Cups in the future? Why is the Six of Cups in the future? Why is Six of Cups in the future? The Five of Wands. The Six of Cups is in the future because of some sort of turmoil, some sort of conflict. I'm thinking inner turmoil. Why is the Five of Wands coming up? Wow. Okay. Too many doggone cards. Why is the Five of Wands coming up? Why is the Five of Wands coming up? Why is the Five of Wands coming up? The Fool. Okay, so this is about starting anew potentially with somebody. That's inner turmoil, right? Inner turmoil, but what do you want to do? What starting new is taking a leap of faith with somebody potentially from the past, which makes sense, right? Because this is a time of, this is a Hangman period. You're trying to gain a new perspective, and this is comfortable, this is nice, but it's boring. But you don't really necessarily want to leave this, because I feel like you finally got to a place where you're independent. You feel independent. You feel very, you feel very stable. You feel good about yourself. You're surrounded by your abundance, but at the same time, it's still very burdensome. You're all, you're hanging out on your own, and you're doing all the hard work. So for those of you that are in a relationship, this is about taking a leap of faith and, going through a difficult situation with this individual again to get back together. For those of you in a relationship, this could be that, there could be that there is a certain sequence in which you have to start anew with your partner and trying to get back to how you guys used to view each other, right? To how you guys used to love on each other. How a relationship in the past potentially worked out. Because the Five of Wands is about, hashing out the details, and not necessarily hashing out the details, but this is conflict. This is kind of competition, but it's conflict in itself. It's intense, but it's going to change for the better. Okay, it's conflict, but it's always going to turn out. It's always going to be for our benefit. So I feel like there's conflict here, especially with this situation where you're kind of alone in your relationship. This is like reconnecting in a very intimate level. Because you have the Page of Cups here. Now, there's something unexpected happening, though. There's something, I think maybe there's something that you didn't expect to come through, something you didn't expect to happen, and it's pretty much destroying the foundation. It's recognizing that the foundation of the relationship wasn't as stable as you thought it was, or wasn't as stable as the person thought it was. There's some sort of, radical change that's coming up in the future for you guys, Pisces. We're going to go ahead and pull your romance angels, though. All right, guys. Love yourself first. Wow. Your self-love makes you more romantically attractive. Somebody else got this. I think it was Capricorn. Wow, okay. Well, that is absolutely true. Focusing on yourself does make you more attractive. I think it took you guys a long time to get to this place where you guys can feel very confident in yourself, feel very good in your own skin. And I think that was the necessary hangman perspective, right? I think you've gotten so far, you've pushed yourself so far to become something that you feel is so great, that maybe the relationship portion, maybe you don't want to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, but take that leap of faith and jump into a relationship now. Or, maybe there's somebody here that, that's currently around you, potentially someone from the past, and technically that's a new beginning in love, right? It's a new beginning. But it's going to require a leap of faith. There's a lot of inner turmoil about it because of the past. So perhaps the situation is coming up because there is this need to transition, this thought process that you have for that you have for relationships, and it's you may have left a situation that was totally dissatisfying, and now you're cool, you're happy, you're bored. Potentially, but you're also like not really 100% sure you want to get out of this comfort zone. Not get out of the situation where you feel good about yourself, you feel good about where you are. You don't know if a relationship is worth sacrificing your safety zone, your comfort zone. Because you are confident being single, confident being knowing yourself. But it's still like there's a lot of burden here. Like it's because you put so much work in here. So something's gonna happen in the future. I have no idea. Could be that you reconnect with somebody from the past here. That could be the thing. You guys could receive some sort of Page of Cups information. But there's something happening. There's something's going down, Pisces. We'll have to see, huh?